So before we begin, again, I have to just bear with me. I'll connect later. Remember the Shabbos before we're reading says, Kedoshim Tihyu, be holy. The last Shabbos we read that the Kohen, a priest, is not permitted to defile himself, to become unholy because somebody died, even his own family. But you know, if God forbid he finds the person who's dead lying on the somewhere and nobody's taking care of, dead, right? Then not only he has to is not the word. He mamash has to defile himself and take care to bury this person. Take care of this person. So again, just help me thinking. What's the Kohen? Everybody knows? What's the holiness of a priest? The holiness of a priest is that he is absolutely holy. But this is not the acid test. The acid test is that he absolutely can get only unholy for somebody who needs to go to bed. It's a very high thing. Okay. Everybody knows that this Friday is Pesach Sheni. Pesach Sheni is, that means that anybody who could not bring the Paschal Lamb at the proper time, God gave them a chance 4 weeks later to come to the Holy Temple. So who were the people? Now listen to this again. God did not say, oh, you bring it the 14th day of Nisan, or if you can't, you don't have a chance, you're busy, stock market is going high, and you cannot take yourself away from New York and just do it 4 weeks later. It doesn't go this way. The truth is there were some people who couldn't do it. And the Medrash says, and the Gemara and everybody, who were those people? If some of you remember, Moshe Rabbeinu took the bones, took the body of Yosef with him. We'll get later into it, but just remember. Yosef HaTzadik, if you remember, Yosef HaTzadik was in Egypt. He was lying in the Nile. He told them to throw his coffin in the Nile. And when Moshe Rabbeinu, even the story itself is so holy, it's beyond description, but Moshe Rabbeinu, before we left Egypt, we went up to the Nile, and it says, you see, you have to realize something. Yosef is the first Jew who went into exile. And, you know, he could have told, he was the king of Egypt, he could have left word, I want to be buried in Israel, so the moment I die, take me back to Israel. But this isn't for Yosef HaTzadik is ahead, right? If there's one Jew staying in exile, he's staying with him. So he says, I'm staying in Egypt till the redemption comes. So Moshe Rabbeinu went to the Nile on Pesach morning, and he was yelling out, he says, Yosef, we're leaving. And suddenly, you know, the coffin came up from the Nile, and they carried it the whole time. All the 40 years, Yosef HaTzadik's bones were carried within the Holy Ark. At that time, till we had the Ten Commandments, when Moshe Rabbeinu came down from Mount Sinai, the holy thing we carried, if you remember, through the Red Sea, was Arena Shel Yosef. And according to the Medrash, after that we had already the two tablets. You know, the two things were going together the whole time. Because Moshe, the tablets were from heaven, and Yosef HaTzadik was the living Ten Commandments. Right? Okay, but the people who carried Yosef HaTzadik were defiled, because if you touch a dead body, if you remember, then you cannot go to the Holy Temple to bring a sacrifice. So they came to Moshe Rabbeinu and they said, you know what's going to be? Here, everybody was bringing Paschal Lamb, and we are defiled and we can't bring it. So Moshe Rabbeinu says, wait, I'll ask God. You know what that means? There's two kinds of Torah. There's a Torah which was given from God to Jews, just like this. Then there's another Torah which was given to us when we ask for it. Very, very high revelation, but you have to ask for it. It doesn't come like this. Okay, so God says to Moshe Rabbeinu, tell them to sacrifice the Paschal Lamb 4 weeks later, on the 14th day of Iyar, which is this Friday. Okay, just remember this Friday afternoon is very high. If you can pass it, you should go to the mikveh anyway, Friday for Shabbos, but this is a strong day to go to the mikveh. Immerse yourself in holy water. And Friday afternoon, eat a little matzah. Very, very high. Very, very high.